What's going on today, guys? In this video I would like to do a side-by-side comparison of the 2021 Chevy Trailblazer and the 2020 Chevy Trax. Now this is not going to be an in-depth comparison going into all the specifications of the vehicles. However, this is going to be kind of an overview of each one side-by-side to each other, going over some of the feature differences between the two and overall price point between the two. So what we have in front of us here is a 2021 Chevy Trailblazer LT all-wheel drive and a 2020 Chevy Trax LT all-wheel drive. These are as close as I get in terms of price point and kind of trims between the two, given this is the only Trailblazer we currently have on the lot. This vehicle is 26.5 as equipped, and this one is 27.5 as equipped. This one is an extra cost color. I believe this is $395 cost color. So it might be closer to about $1,400 between the two if you had a standard option color and a standard option color. So this is as close as I can get in terms of price point between the two and as far as trim levels as well. So starting off on the exterior of the vehicles, obviously you can see there are two completely different vehicles, but overall they are very similar. This is a halogen projector headlight with LED daytime running light, as well as this one over here. An LED is optional on the Trailblazer, but as equipped, this one is a halogen projector as well. The difference is that this one has the LED fog light down below, and this one does not have any fog lights on the LT trim level. You have to step up to a Premier, and even at that, it is still a halogen fog light. But taking a look at the front ends here, this is definitely a mini Blazer in terms of design. I mean, it looks so close to the design language of that car. So definitely it looks a lot better in my opinion on the Trailblazer. Each vehicle has kind of those silver roof racks, painted mirrors. The mirrors on the Trax are a door mounted mirror versus the kind of the higher mounted mirror on the Trailblazer. We do have more of the chrome on the Trax over there compared to the black trim around the windows on the Trailblazer. The A-pillars are gloss black on the Trailblazer as well, compared to kind of the body color on the Trax. Now take a look at the wheel designs on the two. The Trailblazer is going to have a 17-inch alloy wheel, where the Trax is going to have a 16-inch alloy wheel. They're both riding on Continental tires. However, the tires on the Trailblazer are going to be slightly wider at 225 versus the 205 on the Trax. Now again, both vehicles kind of have the standard issue today, black cladding and everything along the bottom of the doors and around the wheel arches. Now take a look at the rear of the vehicle. Obviously we're going to have a lot of these similar design features. We have that silver accented trim down at the bottom of the rear bumper. We have the gloss black trim around the rear spoiler on the hatch and around kind of like that third brake light area. The tail lights are going to be a little different between the two. The Trax has an LED combination rear tail light, meaning that the Trax has an LED accent light when the headlights are on and the parking lights are on, whereas the Trailblazer is a fully incandescent design. No LEDs on this trim level, but again, I think that is an option on the Trailblazer on the higher trim levels. The Trailblazer does have the rear parking sensors, which is not available on the Trax at all on any trim level. This one is part of the driver confidence package on that particular vehicle. But again, overall in the rear of the vehicle, they are very similar in terms of just, you know, overall looks. Obviously the Trax looks a little smaller than the Trailblazer in my opinion. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cargo capacity of each one. So in terms of cargo capacity between the two, obviously the Trailblazer is going to be a little bigger between them. But looking at the overall layout of the cargo area, this does have a dual level rear floor. It's on its lower setting now, and you can go ahead and put it on its higher setting. So everything is flush right here, but overall a lot of room beneath the floor even on the Trailblazer here. Now take a look at the Trax. Overall it's definitely a lot narrower right off the bat because there's no cubbies on either side. Now there is a lot of underfloor storage on the Trax as well. That foam definitely provides a lot of little cubbies you can keep stuff in. But overall, the spare tire area, you know, just not as nice, not carpeted or anything like the Trailblazer, and the floor is definitely a lot cheaper feeling. Still a light in the same spot as the Trailblazer. No 12-volt outlets on either one of these vehicles. They all have little cargo tie downs and stuff, but definitely a pretty small back space here on the Trax. Now, just to give you guys an idea of the overall size difference between the two, that should give you guys a decent size comparison between the two. The Trax, obviously, that back part goes right up against the seat in the Trax, so that is pretty good idea as far as cargo space is. You got a couple more inches up front there. Sides are actually pretty even, a lot more even than I thought, but again, you have about an inch more space on the side here, plus the cubbies on the side, which the Trax does not have over there. And in terms of depth, you definitely have more height here for storage, so hopefully that gives you guys a decent idea as far as cargo capacity between the two. Taking a look at the Trailblazer here, mostly hard touch materials except for the armrest, cloth insert in the door panel there, and some black accent there. Ten-way power driver seat with two-way power lumbar. That's definitely more adjustment via power than on the Trax. No leather wrap steering wheel in this particular Trailblazer, which the Trax does have. This has an 8-inch touchscreen compared to the 7-inch touchscreen on the Trax. Again, this is an optional part of the convenience package on this particular Trailblazer. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seat. The cloth and the accent trim does not carry through the back seat. Still lightly padded there. Overall, there's a lot of space in the rear seat of the Trailblazer. Ingress and egress might be an issue for some taller people given the kind of the shape of the door frame here. But overall, it is not bad for me at 5'9". Rear power outlet with USB charging ports down there. That is also part of the convenience package on the Trailblazer. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Trax layout. So here's the Trax door panel. Again, there's no accents whatsoever on this door panel. Still have the soft touch armrest. Do have a little more storage in the door pan versus the Trailblazer, but again, none of that nice accenting here. Do have all your power controls. Here is the power seat adjustment on the Trax. I believe this is like a 6 or 8-way power adjustable seat with 2-way power lumbar as well. You have kind of a leatherette accented trim with the cloth inserts. Definitely looks pretty decent. I like the contrast stitching on it. Again, we still have our automatic headlights, no fog lights. Leather wrap steering wheel, which is not on that particular Trailblazer, but again is an option. We have more cup holders in the Trax compared to the Trailblazer, but again, no nice storage center console or anything like that. Less space up here as well. No USB-C ports on the 2020 Trax. I'm not sure if they're going to add that in 21 or not. No heated seats, which is standard on the Trailblazer LT. Again, the 7-inch infotainment system versus the 8-inch on that particular Trailblazer. No auto-dimming rearview mirror like found on that Trailblazer. Take a look at the back seat of the Trax. Again, door panels are very plain, similar to the Trailblazer's rear doors. Again, there might be a little more storage space in this particular vehicle. Back seat is definitely more cramped than the Trailblazers. We actually, funny enough, do have a rear seat armrest with cup holders in the Trax, where we do not have an armrest in the Trailblazer rear seat. Again, I would say honestly the seats I think I like better in this vehicle compared to the Trailblazer. We do still have a power outlet in this. Again, this is part of the optional package that this Trax has as well. No USB ports in the back seat at all. We have one pocket and one net for rear storage behind the seats. So overall, very similar. Again, I think the back seat room in the Trax is much more cramped than the Trailblazer. But overall, not too dissimilar, to say the least. Now, the one big benefit to the Trailblazer that I see is the fact that the passenger seat can fold completely down, so you can accommodate something that is 8.5 feet long to the back corner of the cargo area. So you can easily fit 8-foot long boards or anything like that in here. So one last thing I'd like to mention here in the Trailblazer is that the Trailblazer comes standard with quite a few driver safety features and driver assistance features, such as lane keeping assist. We have the forward collision alert. We have the auto high beam assist. Just stuff like that, where the Trax is, some of those features are only found on the Premier model, and some of them are not even offered at all, such as the lane keeping assist, stuff like that. So between the two, the Trailblazer has more standard safety features than the Trax has available safety features. Now, one big thing I forgot to mention in terms of the powertrains between the two is the Trailblazer comes with two 3-cylinder turbocharged options, and the Trax comes with a 4-cylinder turbocharged option. Also, the Trailblazer all-wheel drive has a 9-speed automatic, and the front-wheel drive has a CVT transmission, where the Trax only has a 6-speed automatic across the board. Now, and don't let the number of cylinders determine the horsepower and torque of the engine. The Trailblazer actually has more horsepower and torque than the 4-cylinder in the Trax. So this is 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque, compared to the 138 horsepower and I believe it's 150 something pound-feet of torque in the Trax. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video doing a direct comparison between the Trailblazer LT and the Trax LT. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, this is the best comparison I can do at the moment, given that we only have one Trailblazer currently on the lot, but we do have a couple in transit at the moment. So if you guys would like to see any other trims of the Trailblazer or any comparisons between another vehicle and the Trailblazer, let me know and I'll do my best to do those. But once again, a huge thanks to Erickson Chevrolet for providing the Trailblazer and Trax seen in today's video. If you guys would like to take a look at their inventory of Trailblazers or any other models on the lot, check out the link in the description below. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that like button if you guys did or found it helpful. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.